Well, today we've got a code red. So this lady brought over her car and she said it won't get out of park. Now, the problem is that she took it to another shop and they told her that it's going to take hours of diagnostic time. It's probably going to need a new computer and put on top of that a new wiring harness. She said that would cost thousands of dollars and she's not going to spend that kind of money on this car. So she said, if I can't fix it, she's going to take and trade this thing in, possibly on a new Ford. So I wouldn't wish that on anybody. $50,000 on a new Ford. She's a nice lady. I think we can fix this thing. We're going to give it a shot anyway. So while we're firing up the K8, we're going to go to Intelligent Diagnostics and let that go. Now, what she told me was they gave her a screwdriver or told her to use one. You just put it down here and then you can shift it into any gear that you want. She's been doing that, but she's sick of it. So let's go ahead and see what this says. It says USA Ford. There's the VIN, and we're going to do diagnostics here. So this is becoming my go-to scanner. It was the Mucar V08 and I still like that scanner, but I don't own it anymore. I gave it to my best buddy. He lives in Texas. He's Brent. He's also my mentor. He got me started in this gig, repairing cars, taught me everything he knows, taught me everything I know. And so he didn't have one, so I gave it to him. Now this, the K8, this is K8 Pro, is very similar to the V08. It's actually made by ThinkCar, so I'm really digging this scanner. So we're going to go to health report. That's going to scan everything for us and tell us what's wrong with everything in the vehicle. We've got plenty of fault codes here. Now the ABS light is also on and she wanted me to look at that, but I don't think we're going to be doing that in this particular video, but we're going to keep that in the back of our minds. Look at there, we've got internal error with the ABS, missing COM, all sorts of stuff, so I'll deal with that later. Jam, we've got panel switch, headlamp switch, okay, instrument cluster, unexpected ignition status. Now that's something I'm interested in because you need the ignition switch on and you need the brake pedal depressed in order to get this shift lock to release. And if we don't have one of those things, it's not going to release. So I'm going to keep that, well, I was going to say keep that in the back of my mind, but really there's nothing else. There's something in the airbag module. Everything else is green. So what I want to do now, so we're going to go over and look at the U2472-60 from the instrument cluster. Let's look that up. I want to see what that is, and maybe that's going to give us a clue onto what's going on. Let's go over there. All right, here's what I found on the computer. It's for U2472, and it describes it as an unexpected ignition state. Sets in the instrument cluster when it detects a discrepancy between the hardwired voltage input and the messaged ignition state inputs from the SJB, the smart junction box. All right, so let's put that into plain English here. So the instrument cluster, that's your speedometer and all that stuff. It gets a signal from the key. When you turn it on, it knows that it's on, but it also has to talk to the SJB, that smart junction box, to see what it thinks, to see if it agrees that the ignition switch is on. They don't agree, and that sets that code. So what I want to do is go into the K8 here and see what's saying what when the ignition is on or off. So let's check that out and see what's going on. All right, let's go. Now we're going to go into the instrument cluster. Let me put this up here so we can do live data. It should just give me a list of what it can see. So let's go, it should be under ignition switch run position, and then start run position. That looks good. We're just going to do that. So right now the run position is no, start run or run start is no. Turn it to on and we get yes, which is correct because the ignition switch is on. So now we're going to confirm that the SJB, the smart junction box, also knows where the key is. So let's go back. We're going to go to, there it is, the gem. This got the couple of codes there in it also. And we're going to live data for this one. All right, let's go, where's ignition? It's probably after H. Ignition switch position. So this doesn't have the 2 like the other one. This just has ignition switch position. All right, let's hit OK and key in. So key out. So it knows that. Let's put the key back in. Key in. We got accessory. Yeah, the accessory is on, but it just says key in. And the ignition is on. It still just says key in. Give it a little bump. That was the... I didn't want to start the car, but it didn't go to the run start position either. Let's go back, make sure we know what we're doing here. Elemental P, HIJ. Yeah, ignition. Let's see if there's ignition fault in there. And that's it. That's all we got from ignition. So there's no ignition fault, but the switch position, no matter what position we put it in, is just key in. So that's the problem right there. The smart junction box doesn't know that the ignition switch is where it is. Let's go back to the computer. I want to see how the smart junction box gets that information. It's got to be on a connector somewhere, and we'll find that out, and then we'll do some testing. We'll see if we can get this thing fixed. Okay, I've got a connector pin out for that smart junction box. Now this connector is 2280B, and that's got 52 pins on it. Not all of them are used, but what I found was pin number here, 45. This is the ignition switch for the run start position. So what happens, pin 45, which is right there next to an unused pin, that's going to get voltage. So you turn the ignition switch on, that's going to get 12 volts. All right, I've got a game plan. We're going to go to the smart junction box, which is right in the center console. Now we're going to go to pin number 45 on that connector. We're going to measure for voltage when I turn the key on. If it doesn't get voltage, then we know we've got some sort of connection issue between the ignition switch and the smart junction box. If we do get voltage, that's probably going to be a bad smart junction box. So let's check that out and see what we get. All right, I'm just going to get in here and pull this fuse box cover. Okay, yep. This lever pulls down on the connector, and then we can just pull it out. Now I'm looking for pin number 45. So I go 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Bang, there it is. Okay, so key in the ignition, ready to go. Okay, I'm just gonna hold that there. Right now we've got 0 volts, and that's a good thing. Let's turn the key to on. There we go. We got 11.73 volts, and that's good enough. That's a signal from the key all the way down to the smart junction box here. So that pretty much solves it. The smart junction box is no bueno. It's getting the signal it's supposed to, but it's just not able to read it. Yeah, it's basically just a fuse box, but there's logic inside of it. So it's got microchips and processing, and it has data lines that communicates with other stuff. So anyway, let's see if we can get one. And shouldn't be too hard to put in. Probably gonna have to pull out this console. We'll see if we can do it. Center console is out. Here it is back in the back seat there. Didn't take a whole lot. Just pulled out a few of these screws, and the rest of it was just Lego. So here's our SJB. It's loose, it's ready to come out. It's just hanging by this one little clip here. But I don't want to unplug anything yet because we need to program it. We're doing a PMI, so let me show you that. All right, here we go. We've got a brand new used SJB. We went to the Go Pull It yard. They just happen to have a 2012 Escape just like this one. So I've got a part number right here. We'll go ahead and I can see it. down here. It's part number 15604AA, and it matches, so that's, that's perfect. It's exactly what we need. So I'm going to leave that here, but what I want to do before we install it is the PMI, as I mentioned. So let me grab the scanner. Now we need to turn the ignition switch on, and we're going to go into special functions here. Now we've got programmable module installation. That's what we want. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to walk us through it. So we have, let's see, select yes if it's the original, and select no if it's not available. So we're going to select yes. It is the original one. Okay, ensure the module currently installed is the old one. If not, turn off the key. Click OK to continue. All right, set ignition switch to on, key on, engine off, and we got that. Set ignition switch to off, position 0. Okay. Install a new module in the vehicle ECU, or in vehicle ECU. So that's this thing. So we're gonna go ahead and take this and swap it out. All right, it looks like we've got 6 connectors. Let's see, yeah, 6 connectors here, and then big fatty right there, so that's 7. And, oh yeah, the junkyard one came with the cover. Nice. The old one is out. Let's go ahead and get this thing done. Okay, we're hitting the OK button. All right, connection is abnormal. Oh, that's because we had the key off for so long. Either that or because we unplugged the PMI, so we're gonna hit reconnect here. I wanna turn the key on. All right, it's connecting now. Install a new module. Okay, all right, let's just go ahead and turn it to the on position. Okay, PMI was successful. I have this on a lift to make it easier to work on the floor. So what I'm gonna do is just pull the key out, turn it back on, foot on the pedal, on the brake pedal. Listen, that's that lock unlocking. Watch this. Oh, heck yeah. This thing shifts like it should. Problem solved. So happy about that. All right, well, code red is averted. Got ourselves a new smart junction box. It works the way it's supposed to. We're back to code green. I'm off the hook, and she's not gonna have to buy a new car, at least not in the near future. So that's pretty good. And this was a pretty straightforward diagnostic. We checked some codes, we checked the wiring diagram, made sure the wire was good, and then called the module. Super easy, and it didn't cost thousands of dollars. We got a junkyard part with a 1-year warranty on there. Not too bad. So if you're ready for the ABS module, I don't know if I'm gonna record that. If I do, stay tuned for that. I'll post it. If not, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.